0. Let's start.
The nighttime heat rated on Prime FM 105.5. We are streaming live right here on Prime FM on Rovia 105.5. And of course, streaming live also on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just tap Nighttime Heat. As soon as you do that, you're going to watch the show online. We are streaming live on our YouTube as well. All you do is to just tap Nighttime Heat. As soon as you do so, you're going to watch the show online as well. Well, tonight promises to be very interesting. You know, today is observed through the entire country as National Unification Day. Well, a day, to unified. So one of our major discussion will be talking about whether the country is being unified under the current administration. But let me just have it informed that at 8:30 we'll have the Deputy Minister of Information, Daniel Sando. Sando will be our guest. That is at 8:30. We're going to talk about a couple of things. He'll be here from 8:30 to 9:30 or 9:30, just an hour. And of course, a couple of things we're going to talk about. The progress of the government, the challenges, the prospects. What are the government is delivering? The government made a lot of promises during campaign. The president, spoke about providing job opportunities, improving the education system, the legal system, the justice system, and of course, making sure that the issue of bread and butter is prioritized. We're going to talk about that. When the minister comes, we're going to take questions from us, so we can know as to where the government is in its strive to improve the livelihood of our people. Well, let me first welcome my panelists who are here tonight. I know David Benedictus Erasmus Nangwe Tagwe will not be here. He's not feeling too well. David, our hearts are with you. We're hoping that you get well soon. And also George Kennedy, my namesake. George has left for Kakata. And of course, I understand he has gone for some family meeting. And so he will not be here tonight. But let me welcome Desmond. Desmond, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Sabot. Thank you. And let me say happy National Unification Day to you and to all of our listeners in Radio Land. So it's great to be back. It's great to be here always. This is what we sign up for, to making sure that the Liberian people can feed on the right information of education that we provide to them. So it is great to be here. It is what we love doing best in the interest of our nation.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming tonight. Let me welcome Moses Sandy. Moses, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Saba. Happy Unification Day.
Well, the same to you, Moses.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to be back. Let me say hi to Desmond and the rest of the crew in studio. It's always good coming to talk to you from afar. Thank you. I'm here.
Okay, let me also welcome Yusuf Sharif. Yusuf, welcome to the program.
Welcome. Good afternoon to all of our panelists, and I want to use this medium and say a happy Unification Day to all of the folks, and we look forward again today to a beautiful.
What's happening, Yusuf? It seems that Yusuf has some problem with his. Okay, Yusuf, you are in speech. Okay, it seems Yusuf is having problem with his.
Are you getting me? My internet was.
Go ahead.
Like I was saying, happy Unification Day to all of our listening audience in Radio Land, and I want to say happy Unification Day to all of our panelists. Today, we look forward to a beautiful and educated conversation as usual that maintain the civilness between one another and respect each other's view on the issues. So thank you.
Okay, that's good, Yusuf. And of course, tonight promises to be very interesting. Like I said, I want you to first share the live video. Share the live video so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the Nighttime Heat. You want to watch the show online? Just tap Nighttime Heat either on your Facebook, and of course, go to watch the show, or either on your YouTube. You know, we are also on YouTube. Just tap Nighttime Heat. You're going to watch the show online. We are also streaming live on Prom FM Monrovia 105.5. You can watch the show also online. Well, like I said, and of course, let me just acquaint you. Tonight at 8:30, we'll have Deputy Minister of Information, Daniel Sando. And of course, Sando will be telling us about some of the progress government is making in areas, of education, health, areas of job opportunities, areas of health and concession agreements. How many do we have now? What dividends are we accruing from those concession agreements? Well, a lot. We'll be talking about with Daniel Sando, Deputy Information Minister, at 8:30. But before then, let's play this tape. This tape. I was on the social media today, and I came across this tape. Councillor Pierre Bramboul. I like the way she talks, and sometimes she sounds comical, but she's pushing a point. Let's listen to one of these videos quickly. One of her videos. Let's listen.
Okay, so
So what? The video is not coming through.
Okay. Okay. Just play the team. Okay. I'm sure we'll have a technical problem. Let's try to sort it out quickly. Let's hear the team.
0. Let's start.
Okay, so welcome back to the program. We're just trying to play this video, and of course we understand that the video was not coming through, but the audio was coming through. That was Pierre Bramboul. But the message I think she was trying to send was that uh, there's still division, amongst women, especially the top women. She believes there's division, and so long there's division amongst the women, the men will always thrive over them. So she was somehow talking about that, and also making reference to some jabs apparently Mandela Cooper may have thrown against the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and she was elevating the Minister of Foreign Affairs, highlighting the job that she's done, and also talking about her international connections. Unlike Mandela, who continues to throw jabs. But let me hear from you, Desmond. Your interpretation of what Pierre Bramboul was talking about.
Yeah, first and foremost, I didn't follow what actually transpired between the Madam Mandela Cooper and that of Madam Sarah Beslow-Yanti, so to speak. But with what I just watched and listened to from Councillor Pierre Bramboul, who is one of Liberia's constitutional lawyers, I think it points to the fact that there is an eternal division, or there is a power struggle within the ruling establishment, especially with those folks of those women who are in premium positions. Because I do know administratively, the dean of the president's cabinet, who is the Minister of Foreign Affairs, controls or dictates the narratives of our international scene. So any issue of international sovereignty, international affairs, it is the exclusive responsibility of the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Okay.
So, but to the issue about recommendations, suggestions, I think it's something that should be open. Her office should be more, inclusive, should be more participatory in terms of, soliciting pieces of advice from all of key government officials to see how best they can all work together to project a better international image of our country.
Okay, let me hold it. Moses, we saw to play this video. Although it couldn't come through, but you heard the audio. Yes, Pierre Bramboul, or Councillor Pierre Bramboul, often when she speaks, she sounds somehow comical. People do laugh, but she's pushing a point. Why were you able to gather, Moses, from the councillor?
In order to do an honest assessment, to speak honestly about what the councillor was talking about, I need to know what did the political advisor say that prompted her reaction. And that is not in the public domain. I listened to the councillor via social media yesterday, and I was wondering, but where is this coming from? What did Mandela Cooper do? What did she say about the Minister of Foreign Affairs? So it won't be fair to say, oh, well, her criticism was right or it wasn't right, without hearing what Mandela said.
Okay.
That would be my take on that.
Okay, so let me hold you there. Mr. Sheriff Yusuf, let's hear from you.
Me?
Mr. Sheriff.
You getting me?
Yeah, we are getting you. Let's hear from you.
All right. So I just share something with you, Sober George. I think this is what prompted the whole issue between the both of them. A guy on social media did a Facebook post saying, meet the engine of the Liberian government, Minister Sarah Beslow-Yanti. She is the one keeping this administration alive and breathing across the world. And then Mandela Cooper comment on the post saying, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Bwaga is the engine of the government. Nobody will ever be while he is still head of state. I just share with you on your WhatsApp. In your
okay.
WhatsApp.
All right. Thank you. And so Moses, I think you heard what really sparked the reaction from the constitutional lawyer.
Yes, I did. And thank you so much for providing the information. I think the post from the political advisor, I think it seems to be right because for someone to write that the foreign minister is the engine of the administration, then I think the person doesn't understand who is in charge. The engine of the Liberian government is the president. He drives everything. Everybody in the government, is amendable. As a government, people work in unison. The face of the country, the face of the government is the president. So I think Mandela is right on that.
But Moses, I'm coming to welcome, I don't know, one of our newest panelists. But Moses, you think it was quite necessary for Mandela to have gone, under the post and reacted? You think that was quite necessary, Moses?
Well, you see, Lord Summer, we are human beings. We are human beings. We all respond to situation differently. Or maybe somebody just will say, hey, you know what? I don't need to write anything. Another person will say, you know what? I need to speak out. I need to set the record straight. I think this person is in error. So she was coming from that perspective, and being a political advisor to the president, I think she was of the view that the polls did not reflect the reality in the country. So I won't hold that against her.
Now,
So
you see,
here's my thing. I want to.
yes, Yusuf, go ahead.
I want to make a little point on that. So, from my own analysis of what I've just read, I believe, non-Liberian actors, they in the basis of posting on social media on who they like. So, I believe there is something internal battle between them, because anybody can come out and they post about Sober George and say he's the best journalist in Liberia based on self-love. But I believe they work in government together as one. So I don't think that was an issue for Mandela Cooper to go on and comment. So in my mind, I think there's an internal battle between them.
Now, so we'll soon welcome our newest panelist. We're still expecting him. Now, Desmond, we're expecting to host Mr. Daniel Sano tonight, the Deputy Minister of Information. But now, what transpired on the social media sparked a reaction from Pierre Bramboul, Councillor Pierre Bramboul, and she came in defense of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. You think that is it's to the acquiescence of the minister? Do you think the minister does know about or maybe sanctioned the constitutional lawyer to come in on defense? You think?
I don't think so, and I think obviously we all.
So then, why would push Councillor Pierre Bramboul to want to join in the fray?
She's a stateswoman, and as a matter of fact, she has a say in the national body politics of our country. She doesn't mean to be pushed by anybody to speak her opinion or to give her perspective on how things are being governed. What I think we should look at keenly is the fact that there is the substance of the issue that Yusuf forwarded to you, and you read. I captured something there talking about the engine of the government. Is that correct? That the engine, this is the engine of the government. Can you verify that for me?
Yeah, sure.
So now, if anybody for the matter describes the dean of the president's cabinet, the face or the chief architect, of the government, to attribute that title to the foreign minister, I think there is some misplacement of titles, because there is nowhere possible in the world that a president who was constitutionally democratically elected by the absolute majority of the people within the given society, who is the number one citizen. He is the CRC, the commander-in-chief. He is the chief architect of the country's foreign policy.
Now, there is the issue. There's the issue. Moses, and 1 minute, Desmond. This is the issue.
Mm-hmm.
When this administration came to power, when President Boyka assumed the leadership of the country, it was all speculated that Mandela had her eyes on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You get what I'm saying?
I follow.
That was being speculated. I'm sure you might have heard that. Also.
I do follow.
Now, so with a post, someone is trying to be elevate or promote the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Mandela going on the post. Don't you think Moses? Don't you think that could spark a reaction for anyone, especially when she had her eyes on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs? Moses, let's hear from you. 1 minute, Desmond.
Yeah, look, so honestly, for anyone to say that the political advisor's correction depicts envy, that she was not appointed foreign minister, so she envies the current minister of foreign affairs. She thinks that she should have been the right pick. I don't think it would be fair to the political advisor. Basically, what she did was to correct the president. That hey, you are in error. The face of this country is not a foreign minister. The face of Liberia is the president. He's the #1 president. He's the first citizen. He's the commander-in-chief. That cannot be any of his cabinet ministers.
No, let's get it.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Sawa.
Yes, their network is doing something else.
Yeah, go ahead, Sawa. Are you hearing me?
I think that network is giving problem from the studio.
Yeah. I think they have a problem in the studio there. I'm at the unification there. La bro, you gotta do better.
If people say not carry our current unification, they know LEC.
They carry your own too, eh?
I'm telling you.
If you say you're enjoying too much, man, no celebration today. They carry on.
Man, this is actually unfair.
Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, people out there having fun, my man. They just keep their in darkness. Man, it's been many years, man. I have not experienced that. No, we have 11 city 24/7. No.
I think they're having a conversation from the studio, though, but we are not getting it yet. I think there must be a technical problem.
Yeah. I think they are off air, because when they are on air, you will see them online. Maybe they lost power or something happening in studio. They are off air.
Yeah, because I'm seeing Desmond speaking.
Okay. Okay. I think they could be off air. But let's wait and see how it goes.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
I just kind of low worry my own friend the same current my own little channel there. I keep a low current in trying to let me down.
Oh, okay. So what part of Monrovia are you, my brother?
I'm in Painesville, around the Dupo Road area.
Oh, okay. So it's like you're closer to LBS, eh?
Very good. I'm closer to LBS. I'm also closer to True FM.
Okay. Yeah, my man. I'm way in the state of Delaware.
Ah, Delaware. I play my
Yeah,
man from
in the
Pedro.
United States. Yeah, Pedro and I in the same state.
I know.
Yeah.
I just spoke to him in the evening and he's in Bapolu. He just entered the country.
Oh yeah, the man doing his mineral thing.
Yeah.
And I hope all is going well with him.
Yeah, gradually. There was some issues, but everything is okay now.
Yeah, it's good to invest your money, my man. Do something
Yeah.
to create jobs for our people, That's good on the part of Henry.
Yeah. That always be in the conversation,
Yeah.
everything can be about government. There's a need. The government see our best to revamp some of these places because you got
That's
some people
true.
today presiding in the country who beer mountain and they've been here for a very long time. They not eat a lot of money. You know,
That's true.
instead
Yeah.
of still going in conscience with some of these people, the government just got to find some reasons that the people. Let me ask him man, what's going on. Me ask him on WhatsApp.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Call them. Call them. Ask.
That's what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
What's going on? We're not getting you guys. Okay, try to do something, please.
For the city offline. Eh?
Yeah, he said he coming, he will do something. I just call him. I
Oh,
think
okay.
they dead because I can see Damon speaking.
Okay. They are offline. I don't know.
Mhm. I think there's a technical problem, but they'll resolve it.
Yeah. Not just hang in there and wait for them.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's Monrovia, my man. Connectivity problem.
Well, always time at this hour of the show, you can be driving going somewhere.
Yeah. Driving to work. Yeah, yeah. Always the time. We have a time difference of 4 hours. So when you guys are home sleeping, we are up on this side.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. So I hope you guys can get this thing here straightened because I don't see any of them again. Do you see any of them online?
Hey, I'm seeing Diamond. I'm seeing Diamond online. I mean
Oh,
Desmond.
yeah. Okay. Well, I wonder what's going on. So let me call Sober and find out what's going on. Then I will
Yeah,
log
talk.
back into. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
trying
don't
to
know.
do. Let me leave.
Okay. Let me try to.
And we live in the age of economic globalization as well. As a student of international relations, I'm very much aware that conflict around the world to which Liberia is not a party will affect the economic situation in Liberia because we live in a global village. We live in a global village. That is why you see that even though Liberia is not a between Israel and America and Iran, but the crisis, the price of petroleum product has affected us negatively. So we live in an era of economic globalization, which we should take note of. But I mean, in terms of taking deliberate steps in the purview of the government to intentionally reduce the price of basic commodities to ensure that there can be agricultural productivity across the country, to ensure that roads, networks are open, to ensure the free flow of goods, services. I mean, throughout the year, the government has taken those deliberate steps, and I'm very happy that Liberians who are the end users of these services are realizing that the government has done so. And I just wanted to open up by saying that the government has taken these steps, everything geared toward addressing this bread and butter issue.
Okay, thank you for your introductory statement. You spoke about effort being made to build our roads as part of effort also to effort in addressing the bread and butter issue. But now talking about the issue of roads, I know my other panelists will come in very shortly.
I also mentioned price stability.
We're trying to handle that one by one. You spoke about roads, and as a result of that, I know you brought in some yellow machines. We still have additional of the yellow machines still away. They haven't yet arrived. What's the status now? When do we see those machines hitting rural Liberia and making sure that the road works can be highly facilitated?
The yellow machines, significant number of those machines have arrived in the country. I think just about last week, another batch of the equipment arrived. But again, like the vice president indicated the other day, the shipping route is a problem for our country. That you want to ship things from either Asia or Europe, they come here. We got vessels do not enter our waters, so it causes problem. So all of the rest of the equipment are in Abidjan and they're arriving in trenches. So that's why you saw last week there's the arrival of the consignment of the machines. But these machines are already in the country. A significant number of them, like I said, are already.
Yes. So the question is, Mr. Minister, the question is, how soon do we see them hitting the roads?
So the vice president said by November of this year, these machines are going to deployment of this machine will start because to deploy the machine, a lot of modality has to be put into place. You need the manpower that will operate the machines. That modality is being worked out. The recruitment is ongoing, which is headed by the Yellow Machine Board, headed by Honorable Bani Samuka. So all of the recruitment, the construction of the hubs, the identification of the corridors through which these machines will be deployed, will be deployed effectively after they are assigned to the rural counties. Everything is now ongoing. So by November of this year, once those machines are deployed, simultaneous work will commence across the country, right?
Okay. Now, you when I say you, I'm making reference to the government. The government been facing a lot of criticisms since this whole yellow machine issue was introduced. There are arguments that what was the necessity of setting up a board to manage yellow machines when you have the Ministry of Public Works that could do exactly what the board is doing or the board should be doing?
So we will not be distracted by people who just want to criticize for the sake of being opposition. when you criticize government, when you criticize government policy, when you criticize government action, it should come from a substantive point. So how does it hurt the country when a board is set up to manage the yellow machine that will be deployed to fix the roads across the country? How does it hurt? How does it injure? How does it injure the opposition folks when the government set up a board that will ensure that the deployment of the yellow machines is not driven by political motive, but is driven by informed policy decision and on a need basis? How does it hurt? How does it hurt the opposition? So I would not want
So
to.
the answer to that is, Mr. Minister, the answer to that is they believe you'll be putting more pressure on the budget because
Everything.
I'm coming, Mr. Minister. I'm coming. You'll be putting more pressure on the budget, because already you have the Ministry of Public Works that has its own share of the budget, and that's supposed to do the work that the board will be doing. And so setting up the board is like employing a whole group of people and putting pressure on the budget and expanding the resources, monies that should have gone to other areas. Now they're going to go to the board when you have no need for that.
So I want to dwell for the most part on this conversation. I want to dwell on what opposition think, because the people who are in opposition criticizing, they had the opportunity to run the country for the last 6 years, and the things they did were just sufficient to tell the Liberian people that they were incompetent and incapable of running the country. So as a country, we have a problem. One significant aspect of that problem is our poor road network. The Bwagale administration has realized that, look, we cannot grow our economy in the absence of road and energy. How do we address the energy issue? The country qualified for the compact, and we said, from the assessment that was done, everything we're going to get from the compact of country will go towards energy. The next thing the government said was that, look, we need to take deliberate steps. Why would we knocking on doors in the international cycle to ensure that we get paved, our roads connect capitals, and farm to market roads are paved? We have to take deliberate steps as a country, as a government, to show to our international partner. We are committed to doing this. So what did the government do? The government said we're going to bring in the yellow machine. The very people who are now saying, oh, why did they say the police said yellow machine was not necessary? Okay? You said in Monrovia, but even the roads in Monrovia are not paved. Yet they believe that yellow machines are not necessary. So we brought in the yellow machines. So they will always criticize. But the reason for which the president set up the board is to manage the deployment, to manage properly how these machines will be used. Because
So in another word, Mr. Minister, let me comment. In another word, you are saying that the president does not trust the ability of the Ministry of Public Works to manage the yellow machines.
I didn't say that either. So what I'm saying is that the Ministry of Public Works, what I'm also saying is that the Ministry of Public Works has a whole bigger role to play to ensure that all of our road networks in the country are well to do and up to standard. So to have this machine being effectively managed, the president set up a board. Is the Ministry of Public Works not part of that board? They are part of it. Okay? So what's the basis of this criticism? Why are they criticizing? The Ministry of Public Works is part of the board, except that it's headed by Mr. Brandon Samuka.
Okay, so moving forward. Moving forward, I know my panelists are about to come in. Can you be specific, Mr. Deputy Minister of Information, Daniel Sando, as to how much has this government spent? How much of public funds been spent on the acquisition of those yellow machines we're talking about in totality?
So the acquisition of the yellow machine was put to a little over $22 million, right? And I know the acquisition is one thing, but the maintenance, deployment, and the full neutralization of those machines is another aspect which we are working as a government. And I'm told that there's an allotment in the supplemental budget that was submitted to the legislature and passed on 55 billion. There's also an allotment there for that purpose. So the acquisition of this yellow machine, a little over $22 million, and now we are talking about the deployment, the maintenance, and the full neutralization of these machines also. So that's how much I know about it.
Okay. So, listeners, viewers, you are listening to the Nighttime Heat, right on Prime FM 105.5. We are streaming live on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. We are also streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just tap Nighttime Heat. You're going to watch the show online as well. Our guest here for tonight is the Deputy Minister of Information for Press and Public Affairs, Mr. Daniel Sando. Now, Desmond.
Yeah, thank you, Sabo. So, good evening, Minister, and let me say happy National Unification Day. You scratched a whole lot of different things, and one key thing that I have grabbed specific attention to is the issue of macroeconomic stability, talking about the free flow of prices at a normal level, the availability of basic commodities in the country. But in your capacity as a deputy spokesperson of the government, is the government aware about the recent video footages that have been trending on the internet about the shortages of sack of mineral water? And what is the government doing to ensure? Because there have been reports, there have been some reports unconfirmed, with the issue about skyrocketing in terms of sack of water. A single bag is being sold for $10, and there are other media reports quoting Punch FM specifically in Grangeda County.
I'm not getting you.
So
Okay.
So let's make some technical adjustments. So
Yes, quickly.
are you getting me, Minister, now?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Okay, so you spoke about macroeconomic stability that talks about the stabilization of prices, the free flow of prices, and basic commodity availability in the market. So I'm concerned as to whether the government is aware about the recent footages that have been trending on the internet about mineral water shortages. We have seen videos trending where people have to stand in the queue to procure sack of water. It's, because this does not support macroeconomic stability when sack of water is scarce. Let me say it this way: it's scarce, and not just the few available ones are being sold for an increased price as per the usual price. Isn't it concerning? In keeping with the government own policy on macroeconomic stability, Mr. Deputy Spokesperson?
That I talk about is justified by the condition on the market. The issue of the hike in the price of the bag of mineral water has come to the attention of the government. I'm sure the Ministry of Commerce has made swift intervention. We should be very mindful how we tend to elevate these things to national level, how we tend to elevate to the level of crisis. It has not reached a crisis point. If somebody who is producing mineral water decided to increase the price, that sector is being properly managed and controlled by a ministry. That ministry has made the intervention, and let's see what the outcome might be. And, I don't see that as a crisis. I don't see that as a crisis. I don't see it the way people try to portray it on social media, because I tell you what, we do not run the government on social media. Nothing changes. Anything that happens in the country and social attention to this matter. And I'm sure, given the involvement of the Ministry of Commerce, that situation will come under control. Of course, we have to also say that those people who are involved with the production of mineral water, there's also cost involved. Globally, the crisis in the Middle East has increased the price of all of these. Has increased the price of the petroleum product globally. production of mineral water comes with high electricity costs. So we have to be able to look in that direction of what is happening. I'm not yet we're trying to justify somebody increasing the price of the mineral bag of water from $5 to $10. Yeah, but I just want to say to you that we are living a period or experiencing a period of global economic instability. And that is not happening vote of Liberia's own existence. Liberia, like I said, is not existing in a vacuum. Things that happen externally will affect Liberia because Liberia is part of the global village. Okay, but the Ministry of Commerce have made it very clear intervention, and I'm sure that situation has been brought under control.
Okay.
I don't want to determine it as a crisis. I don't want to determine it as a situation that is beyond control.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Minister. Let's hear from you, Moses. Mr. Moses Sandy.
Yeah, thank you, Saba. Deputy Minister Sano, do you hear me? Is the minister hearing me? Deputy Minister Sano, do you hear me? Is he hearing me, Saba? Actually, if he's hearing me.
Yeah, Mr. Minister, I'm sure the minister is hearing you. Go ahead.
But he's answering. I just want to make sure that he's hearing me. I would like to begin like this. The deputy minister spoke about the yellow machines, and he said that deployment will start in November, and he's of the view that the operation of the machines around the country will be as of November of this year. But
the minister is not hearing you. Now, Mr. Minister, that's the reason why you should have just come on live, because it's a problem, Yeah, just adjust. Kindly adjust.
Okay.
So you listen to the next. Yeah, the minister is trying to adjust. You should have just come on online. Yeah. So Moses, just keep your question. The minister is trying to adjust. I want to have a frank discussion with the minister. Kindly share the live video.
Sure.
This is the Nighttime Heat. This program is basically intended to help educate and inform you, our people. So we are here, try to sacrifice to do the best we can. We'll have our panelists. I know George Kennedy, wished to have been here, but unfortunately he's not here due to some engagement. David Tagwa is not feeling too well. I'm sure he'll be here either tomorrow or Monday. Again, Fambula too, one of our panelists, will be here on Monday. But we are here, and of course we are having a nice discussion with the minister. But in the meantime, Desmond, the minister is trying to adjust. What's your takeaway from what you've been saying?
Well, there are key points that the minister stressed, talking about. Specifically, he spoke about a whole lot of issues about how Liberia has regained its space or its place on the international stage. But one thing the minister said for his opening remarks that while it is true the bread and butter issues is key, but the country should also not lose sight of the role our foreign service, our international image plays in terms of how Liberia stands or how Liberia position at the competing nations. But this is one of my key takeaways. He stressed about the macroeconomic stability. And that speaks to the fact that the ordinary Liberians, those petty trailers, those or young balls, those valuables, how is the economy benefiting to them? How are they, benefiting from the economy? Because if these people who interact within the economy every day, if they cannot, or better still, experience the trickle-down impact positively, on their lives, then I think there's a problem in terms of the government strategic, engagement towards macroeconomic stability. Because we all in the country, and there have been several, alleged reports about things are being, prices are being on a skyrocketing scale. I follow a video recently there from Real Light. A lot of market women are alleging that the economy is not just tough, but it seems not to even exist. So what comes to my mind when the minister stress about macroeconomic stability? I think the government has more responsibility. There's a whole lot of more pressure, and in terms of the government needs to be more proactive in executing whole strategic policy towards stabilizing the Liberian economy.
Okay, Moses, what's your takeaway so far from what you heard from the minister?
Yeah, let me just start on the economic component because I heard the deputy minister say that government has put in place a structure. I'm not quoting him directly, just from what I heard. Government putting in structures for price control. And I think the deputy minister is in error here because in economic, that's what they call supply forces, supply and demand. I mean, market forces, supply and demand. The higher the demand, the higher the prices. The lower the demand, the lower the prices. In the current situation, with what is happening globally, if you see an inflation in the economy, obvious that you're going to have probably in the hike of prices. So nobody can sit in one little office and tell, for example, right now, gasoline. Nobody can sit at the Commerce Ministry and say, hey, I want you to sell a gallon of gas hypothetically for $4. If you do that, it is not going to work because the guys who are doing the purchases, they themselves are buying it for hypothetically maybe $4.50. And this is business. If they are buying for $4.50, obviously they're going to sell for $5 or less than or $5. So I think if that is what the government is doing, then maybe they need to take a second look at that. Now, another thing I heard the minister talk about has to do with the yellow machines. And I hope he comes back. He said the machines will begin operation. They will deploy the machines, and he's of the view the operation of these machines may begin as of November. Well, what the deputy minister just told us is a contradiction of what the chairman of the task force said. When you listen to Brownie Samuka, and I had the opportunity of listening to him, Brownie said the full operation of those machines nationwide is looking at 2027. So I don't know if there's any coordination in this administration, because if the chair is seeing one thing and the deputy spokesman of the country is seeing another thing, it bothers me. It's me, and I hope the minister can really come in and provide a clarification on that. That's my view.
Okay, Yusuf.
Yeah, I think I just talked to provide the necessary clarity in good faith. The deputy minister was very emphatic. He said that would be the deployment in November. So, but when you question, he said you asking when exactly do we see these machines in the various counties, and he said deployment is actually planned for November. But we know that obviously during the rainy season, this is something very concerning. During now that we are approaching the rainy season, and we still yet to get the final batch of those yellow machines. When will they enter into the country? And that is where I come from, because I'm so much interested in seeing these machines not just being deployed, but these machines engaging into works. Because the sole purpose of using the state resources to procure this set of machines, not to come to decorate our various county compounds, but to have these machines being deployed, being functional, and they are doing works so that our roads can be connected, our homes can be accessed, and our farm roads to the market can also be traceable. And that is what I think is a great step. I must be on the record. Buying those machines is necessary, but what should be more accounted for is the utilization of the intended purpose of these machines. That is what we should look for.
Okay, Yusuf, Mr. Yusuf, Sheriff, let's hear your takeaway. We still waiting the minister.
So what I hear from the deputy minister, like Desmond have just said, my own worry on the yellow machine thing is that it's a good thing. If anybody tell you that we don't need machine to fix our road, it means we are against the interest of our country. But what is concerning to all is that we look forward to the government using the machine for its intended purpose. And secondly, I think when the Deputy Minister of Information said in November those machines their workings will take effect, I think that is political, because a few months ago we saw people on the street of Monrovia recording the machine flying the street of Monrovia, but I've not seen what the team is doing in terms of putting mechanism into place. I'm not seeing what the team is doing in terms of putting mechanism into place whenever there is problem with those machines, when it comes to maintenance and other issues. And lastly, my last point, I think the government need to prioritize the issues of job creation instead of talking about macro stability. So much jobs today, when you go on the street, you do a survey across the country, you observe the prices of things. Even as we speak now, other electricity sober jobs, those are priority. There are certain things you must focus on to hold: electricity, food, hospital, and education. Those areas you must put in tight. But I see in the government, they are not being stable in terms of holding one thing. They jump from one thing to another. So that is my point. And I got some questions that I already drawn down already for the minister.
Yes, we're still awaiting the minister, and this is, sometimes our concern. As a government spokesperson or government communicators, we expect that our people will always be available, always be prepared. Because the people want to hear from the government. They want to hear what the government is doing.
It is that right, though. It is that right.
It is our right to hear from the government. Now I'm being told to place a call. We can be communicating like this. Let me be frank with you. If I'm a government spokesperson and I serve as a spokesperson for a whole ministry, and I'm told, look, I'm given an invite to come and explain as to what the government is doing, the progress it's making, I will totally avail myself. Because already people normally say we have a gullible society. If you can explain what you are doing, how do you expect for the public to know?
Obviously.
How do you expect for the public to know? Now I'm being told to call back.
Just before you call back, I just want to piggyback on what you said. The role of the Deputy Minister for Public Affairs is a very critical role. The Deputy Spokesman. These are people that the Minister of Information, all those who run government communication. These are people that when you talk about internet connectivity, it should be the least of their worry. Those people are supposed to have 24/7 access because they run government communication. And I hope the Deputy Minister can really come, so we can query about some of these things. And when you follow up regarding the task force, again, the Deputy Minister across are dismissive. You say, the politicians are criticizing. What do you expect of them? Look, Mr. Deputy Minister, your role is to explain. We don't want you coming here to put our politicians down. The politicians have raised a legitimate concern, which has to do with constitutional matters. You have laws that created the Ministry of Public Works, laws that created the GSA. These are entities of government that are responsible for the maintenance of government assets. And somebody asks you that question, you say, it is politician. What has happened is a duplication that is costing the government on an annual basis over $51 million. And you dismiss people. So, and these people are politicians. No, I hope the Deputy Minister can come back. Let's have an honest conversation.
The devil
Thank you.
is
Big brother Moses, the thing is clear. There will always be criticism.
I think so. What you need to do so because the Liberian people are actually that ears are placed in the net, and they are so much ambitious to hear from their deputy, spokesperson of government. So try authentic effort to make sure that we can get them.
No, we are trying. We're not getting him, but it's unfortunate.
I think, like you said, Sober George, not too long ago, I think this is a perfect opportunity for the spoke.
I'm sure that's the internet. You're listening to the Nighttime Heat, Radio Prime FM 105.5. This program is streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Are you back? Okay. So, gentlemen, it seems that the minister is not prepared to continue the interview.
So that is the disappointment. That is the disappointment to the Liberian people. Because you serve an invitation, an official invitation to the minister yesterday, and he consented. He agreed to appear to come and present the case on behalf of the government, which is the right of the Liberian people to be informed by their government. And the minister comes up here, present, for like 5 or 10 minutes, and subsequently disappear in thin air. I think this is troubling for the government communication spectrum.
When we were learning communication, one thing my professor or two of my professors said to us in the classroom, Joe Molba and the late Joe Molba and Haji G.V. Krumah.
May he so rest in peace.
I went through them and to that tutorial and all of that. They said public relations is defined simply as doing good and letting the people know. That's just public relation. Doing good and letting the people know. So what is it that the minister would not want to continue with the interview? It shows that apparently the first 3-4 questions we're asking, he found it difficult. And so he believes absolutely there's nothing he can say.
But that is just being unfair, not just to us.
At the end of the day, he would discontinue. Because absolutely nothing you're doing that you can come and talk about. We asked about the issue of the bread and butter. He talked about roads, rehabilitation, granted. He talked about structures being put in place to reduce prices and all of that. Listen, it's far beyond that. When you talk about bread and butter issue, it's far beyond that. Now he talked about the roads. I tried pushing him on the aspect of the road, the yellow machines. Now he's blaming opposition politicians. No, it's troubling, man. It's troubling. No, let me tell you something. When you have an issue, when you know the issue, you don't have to shift blaming. You don't have to accuse people. When they ask you, we got a couple of questions. In fact, I'm not even exhausted my list. In fact, I'm not even gone 1% on my list. The man disappeared.
Permanent administrator has sent
so it's troubling.
No, someone. It is good that the minister back off because tonight would have been a nightmare for him. I already came prepared to take the minister on.
You ready, minister?
The deputy minister has made the Ministry of Information so unpopular. Every time you listen to this guy, all you get from him is profanities. 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 It's the same thing he was demonstrating here tonight. He became so dismissive. You asked the man about the task force. He said, oh, we don't have time. Those people were in government. What did they do? That's not the issue.
That's not an issue.
That's not an issue.
But even the government you're serving today, some of them were in government yesterday and they criticized. So they're not conversation there. Once you leave
that's not an issue. Speak to what the man's asking you about. The man said duplication. The man said duplication. You tell the man why the duplication is necessary. We don't want you to tell us, oh, opposition. No, maybe the deputy minister needs some tutorial, for people who are in the business of communication. Sit with Daniel, Sano, and rather give him some tutorial, because this guy has made the Ministry of Information so unpopular in the country. Let me stop there.
You're listening to the Nighttime Heat Radio on Pram FM 105.5. We are streaming live on Pram FM Morovia 105.5. We are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. That's the Nighttime Heat Facebook and YouTube channel. I think this paints a bad picture of the Ministry of Information. It paints a bad picture. You agreed for an interview. The interview is going on. You find it difficult. You're struggling to answer questions. And at the end of the day, so let me adjust. And you disappear, man. It's a disservice even to the people who are listening. It's a disservice to our viewers. Look, we got a lot to do. Now, gentlemen, I'm sure the minister will not come, so let us move on with our additional topics we have. Today marks Unification Day, and we know exactly what unification is.
Mm-hmm.
But the question tonight, and I know some of our listeners will also join us in calling him to answer to this. What are the indications? Moses, let me begin with you. That under this administration, the country is being unified. What are the indications? What are you seeing?
Hello, Soma. Yeah. A very good question. First of all, let's understand when we speak about unification, what are we talking about? We're talking about togetherness, oneness, a strong bond, being able to coexist, even with people that you disagree with. That's unification. Now, the question you ask, what are the indicators under this administration? So what I can tell you, they are into this Liberia. I do not live there. You live there. You know it better. But as someone looking from afar, I can tell you the country is more divided than united. And I can give you some graphic example.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take it to the capital. You have an opposition speaker that works so well with this administration. He did everything to justify the travel of the foreign travels of the president. The president took this man and went to Italy. He was abroad. A group of people connived to unseat him. The man came back to the country. The same government, under the leadership of the president, pushing aside. Do you think Kofa wants to hear about Baka? Due process, the rule of law, everything. The law say, hey, this man is speaker. Someone will say, oh, well, the executive has nothing to do with what happened in the legislature. But hey, let's be human. If the president said, I will do business with the forum, it means that the president has taken a side. That's split right there. Let's take it to the situation of Yeke Koloba. And I will put this at the feet of the Deputy Minister of Information, Daniel Sano. Daniel Sano granted a news interview and said, we'll remove Yeke Koloba. Daniel, you work for executive. Are you telling us that the president will remove Yeke? So the legislature is divided. People from other political parties are being treated differently. And let me wrap it on this.
the fight against corruption. The government is cherry picking. Look at the situation with Samuel Tuer. Don't get me wrong. I want Samuel Tuer, all others accused of dishonesty in the country, to be prosecuted. But this man just went to court. He won the government. The man was acquitted in less than 1 week. You can't knock you on the man door, man. The optics is that this guy is being witch hunted. Doesn't that drive a wedge amongst the people? Don't you believe that people from the CDC and other opposition political camps will say, but this government here is going after opposition people? How many people in the Bouakai administration, the speed at which the government is going in prosecuting people from the administration? How many persons from the Unity Party that are being prosecuted like that? We have so many people from the Unity Party that have been suspended, but those cases are pending. It tells you we are a divided country. Let me stop there and give my colleagues till there.
Okay, Desmond, it's your turn. What are the indications? What are the indicators? What are you seeing that under this administration, the country it's being unified?
So the first thing is, every given holiday has a reason for its declaration. The National Unification Holiday, which was an act legislated by the legislature in 1960 under the then administration of Willem V.S. Tubman, that this holiday seeks to promote national unity, national cohesion, and as part of President Tubman's own policies of integration, but then we never had a multi-party system. We had just the uniparty system where the elites and that of the indigenous. So Tubman, in his wisdom, legislated this holiday to say, oh, look, let's have a day to bring the commoners and that of the elite together. That only seeks to promote national unity. So under this current leadership of His Excellency President Bouakai, to point to a few of the indicators, yes, I can say that while it is true we acknowledge some strides in terms of unifying the country, but I think there is more to be done, especially on the part of the presidency or on the part of the government in general, because it is the government that shares greater responsibility to unite the country and its people. While the true reconciliation comes with the willpower of two parties, but the president and the government have a greater responsibility to push harder to making sure that the country is unified. And today, I have been session, and I shocked to have seen on the Executive Mansion Facebook page, although an official release that will not just cosmeticize this holiday. I shocked to have seen a release that will point to historical and well-applied achievements towards national unity. I shocked to have also received to have seen a permanent president would have placed a call president would have placed around calls around to a few national leaders, members from the opposition, members from the imposition, members from the non-positions. The president would have done so. Nothing would have happened. He's just being a leader. He's being the father of the land. He's just executing what is required of him. I saw the release. The president only gave a vague message, telling everybody, today is a national holiday, today is national unification, of which we are aware. What I expected that should have been done beyond the horizon, extraordinary, is for the president or the government to have extended or heartfelt compliments of the holiday to national leaders, across our political divide. But I didn't see that. That wasn't mentioned in the release that I read from the Executive Mansion. So I felt a little bit concerned that date of this kind, what extra would the government have done to making sure that, apart from just the cosmeticizing of the release, or better still the gathering, whatever indoor program that might be gathered by the few government officials, the government would have done more than making sure that, just as a president, I can recall, I think that was some part of last year when the president were all being celebrated by few folks in the government. The president press called the former president Ellie, press called to Alexander Cummings, You know, he tried pressing call to former president, but he didn't answer. So, well, I mean, it still would have changed anything if the president would have done similarly. So
okay,
that is where I became more concerned.
Okay, Mr. Sheriff Yusuf, what are the indicators to think that under this administration we see the country being unified?
No, I think Unification Day is not just about celebration. It is a reminder that the Liberian people can only move forward when you all be included in the government of our country, our views and other things be respected. Like the people have just said, today you see other people running up in free. You saw the way the speaker was removed when the Honorable Supreme Court said those companies they acted illegally. I mean, their behavior was ultra viral. All parties should return. The executive was clear to side with the majority black. So there's nothing to, like Desmond have just said, on the kind of day we should be hearing about President Joseph Yima Boakai plays a call to former President George Manuel Weah, Alexander Benedict Cummings, Benedict Wilfred Yuan, all the actors of our country. But again, this is a president who get in our country super joy, who on numerous occasions have not been about responding directly, in fact, to the Liberian people. They have always been giving cheating. You listen to the incident at the second community when the people were taking all of that property. When they go ask the president, he told the Liberian people that God are creating new land. And this same president, when he was asked about, he gave another parable telling the Liberian people that when you're carrying an agenda and when you're going somewhere, when the door banging at you, when you start, automatically it means that you will not reach your destination. That door scenario, it was not necessary at all. Automatically, even door by itself, it can lead it to just back. There must be something wrong somewhere before it back. So a parable in that vein was directed to critics. So we are saying criticism is necessary. It is very, very important. That, for example, Big Brother Moses is way in the United States of America. He's not here. Sometimes you will say something, you will make a recommendation. When you listen to it, you can utilize it and it will benefit the country. So there's nothing that unification to celebrate here today.
Okay, let's try to get that video of that one. They when you talk about trying to unify a country, one thing you look at also is the issue of political inclusion. Political inclusion. Not only maybe those who are a member of your political institution, but trying to reach out, looking out to see whether you can include other people, even your critics. I can remember former President Lyndon Johnson Sirleaf. There were instances where we had the likes of Axel Jackson, the likes of Louis Brown, the likes of J. Milton Tiaje. They were strong critics of the administration. But what the former President Sirleaf do for the purpose of unifying? What does she do? She reached out to them. Political inclusion. When you see that group of people are being excluded, it is not a good sign for unification in that country. Now, against the background, Moses, give us your own analysis of to what extent you've seen political exclusion in this administration.
Well, it is glaring. It is glaring. Go to LBS. You heard the Director General saying it the other day, Eugene Fagon.
Okay, before then, let's try to play the tape, Moses. Let's just play the tape before you can continue. Let's play the tape quickly.
I'm speaking to my Unity Party brothers and sisters. You all need to stop what you're doing. There are people that came with the Unity Party. The president realized that they mean well. But somehow, some of you people in the Unity Party believe that every government job belongs to you. I'm telling you now. That somehow this person should not be over there because it's too strategic. Yeah, this is what you people are doing. That person is not supposed to be there. If you're not undermining them, you are sending people to them. They are insulting them. They are tarnishing their reputation. They are undermining them. When 2029 comes, you want to make friends. I've been disrespected, cussed out for 2 years, insulted, lied upon, over and over, sabotage. I ain't ready to talk yet. I told you I ain't get no allotment since no third quarter, no fourth quarter to the procurement process. Another idiot they call Garrison Reed wrote something stupid because he doesn't understand. No wonder why Garrison Reed is stupid. He thinks I should go lobby with the budgetary committee. Over 400 million was added to the budget for 2026 from 800 million.
Okay, that's not the one we want to hear. I think the one we want to hear, he already said it. Moses, yeah, you can continue now.
Yeah. So look, Sobot, I will use you as a graphic example. Educated man, very good communicator, former Deputy Director General LBS. President nominated you. You went through confirmation. You were confirmed. Like Fagon was saying, people in the administration said no, the man cannot. Because what? He's not one of us. Is that the kind of Liberia we want? Is that inclusiveness? There are people in the administration who believe they're not looking at competence, they're not looking at what people bring, all they're looking for what is fanaticism, blind loyalists. That's what they want. They're excluding people who are qualified to come and help, who are willing to contribute. They're bad star people. So I agree with what God. And I sympathize with your situation, Sober. You are indeed a victim of such thing. That's not the kind of Liberia we want. Liberia should not be on the basis of what political party you belong to. When we are recruiting, we should look at what the person is capable of doing. That's how people try.
Let's go with there, Moses. Let's go with there, Moses. Mr. Sheriff, what's your thoughts about this issue of political exclusion? Because we see that often in even previous and the current administration. In fact, in the current administration, it's worse than even previous. What's your analysis?
Thank you, Sober George. You just said it not too long ago that, for example, former Madam Salih, she gave people like Asa Jackson the opportunity, even though he was one of her biggest critics. And let me say something to actors of the government that are listening to the platform today. Sometimes some of the people who oppose you the most during the time of campaign or elections, when you give in an opportunity to serve you, sometimes they are even more loyal than the one you feel that can't with you, because the one you keep.
I share that with you.
You say what?
I share that with you. It's true.
Sometimes they are even more loyal to you. Today, look at people that American, the role they play that today Unification Day. The president will call them gentlemen, but the only thing that I see is it is because certain circle within the executive management believe that when people that support George come around the Unity Party, it means that government will feel or information will be given out. No. Give other people an opportunity. And let me tell you something to Nelson George. There are some Liberians, they are not party people, well educated, well schooled. They want to come to the country to make that contribution. But how would they come to the country? Because they say you must be a party person for it. You must say CDC or you must say Unity Party. We should do away with that. We look out of the bags, other professional people that get the technical know-how, that get the idea to run government. For example, look at the Deputy Minister of Information. He claimed to be your communicator, gain an opportunity to come and explain the story of the government. They may run away. So that is my point I'm trying to make.
You have very run away for true. Okay, let's go there.
Run away. Anyway, it sounds comical, but it's just the realistic truth. So this is my take on political exclusion in government. The first thing is that when this government came to power, there was one dangerous precedent that was instituted, and that is tenure positions. So we start in a country of which you follow. You look at the case there of LTA. You had less a few other people, but only because they were from the CDC. What happened? The people have to go after them. Today, that case went into court. The very same person, now they're trying to settle the man based on installment, all that stuff. Now you go also to the case there to NAFA, the former Director General, Emma Glasgow. She was, I mean, we know what happened. And only for her to go to facing charges at the NCC, she was exonerated. Will the government give back the job to her? Because that's a standing position to do. To take the back. You look at the case also with I mean, the list goes on, right? There are a lot of precedents where you will see those who are Liberians, but only because they identify with one political institution, if not the CDC, apparently the ALP or the unit, I said, and several other political parties. Once you are not an integrated member of the Unity Party, the people say this man is not in the circle, he is not clear. Is that the kind of government we want to run? Is that the kind of country we want to live in, where citizens are denied access to serve their country only because of the political institution? Then what sort of national unity are we talking about here? I mean, it defeats the purpose of which this day was even legislated. Because this holiday was legislated by Totman to promote national unity, and political inclusion in government. But today, are we living to the sole reason for which the day was legislated? No. In the midst of all of these, happenings, one could tell me as political witch hunt. One could tell me as going after innocent people, and we saw the case also of several other Liberians from the Ministry of Transport have been protesting. And I watched the video. The lead organizer in that protest was saying only because they are citizens that the people are going to trying to close that department, and the people who they're going to reabsorb or going to reclassify into the system are people who they claim to be their interests. But few of them who probably going to lose their jobs are people who have identified with other political parties.
Okay. Thank you. You listen to the Nighttime Heat. Right on Prime FM 105.5. We are streaming live on our Facebook page. That's the Nighttime Heat Facebook page, and the Nighttime Heat YouTube channel. We are also streaming live on Prime FM Morovia 105.5. I'm sure very shortly we'll open the lines. But gentlemen, one thing that political, as we're still talking about unification under this administration, one thing that political exclusion leads to is economic marginalization. We heard and read about situations where group of individuals, close to 700, were relieved of their position at the executive mansion. Apart from that, 10 new positions. Individuals who were nominated and confirmed by the Liberian Senate, and at the end of the day, denied the jobs. These people, when you display these sort of or make these sort of actions against them, what happens? You are marginalizing them economically. And that's the situation. That's the situation today we faced. We expected that the rescue administration will have done far better. But exactly some of what we saw in previous administration is what we are seeing today. What it would have cost, let's assume, the president. I was just sharing that today with, with my wife, I can say. What would have cost the president if he had driven? No, let me go to see former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And maybe before the day you called former President Sirleaf and said, look, I know your son, George Weah, when you call him, you come. Call him early as 8 o'clock. We'll come into your house to have breakfast. But don't tell him that I will be there. And maybe he drove there. Look, he drove there and maybe he met the former president. He met the two former presidents and they sat down. Former president said if people prepared lunch for them or breakfast. They ate on the table. Look, these are the sort of pieces of advice that people who are handling the president should be able to give him. Mr. President, this country is on your shoulders. We inherited a huge divide. We need to close the hole. We need to begin to unify our people. But how do we do that? We should do it first from our end, from our level. What it would have cost the president today if he had driven the former president Sirleaf, and maybe former president Sirleaf to call former president Weah. The three of them sat down and had breakfast at former president Sirleaf's home.
Imagine how beautiful that would be.
And at the end of the day, the media people heard it all. They all running there and taking pictures. They say they say President Bawker had brokered peace.
Yes.
Amen. You know what I tell people? This country, for us to really develop, as like I'm not going to the west, but as like Ghana, as like Ivory Coast, it will take us years. Because until we can develop our mind, our mindset, we're not developed yet. We'll still see our officials running to Ghana if they have health issues. We'll still see our officials running to Ivory Coast if they have health issues. Because we are not ready yet as a country. Leaders will come, campaign time, they will make all the flowery promises. When we get there, this is what we're going to do. At the end of the day, you give them opportunity. They do the worst they do, in fact, more than the ones that they said they would have done. What it would have cost the president today? If you had driven to former President Sirleaf and then called former President Weah, the three of them sat down. You know what it means when the leaders are united? It trickles down.
Down to the supporters.
Down to the supporters. But we're still at this level because our leaders have not seen the need to unite the country. Today we're talking about national unification. It's just on the book. But in reality, in truism, it's not existing. The country is highly divided. The country is split to the middle. Split at the middle, rather. Because of the way we behave to one another. The way we behave to one another. We concoct. We put the stories together against people just for the purpose of trying to pull them down. Then you expect the country to develop, eh? The yellow machines will come, granted. But the 6 years will go. And still our roles will remain the same. Yeah. The 6 years will go. If the roles will be dominated, it'll just be 1 or 2. Because the mindset we have is devilish. We don't want to see one another in this country. John Bryan is telling people, oh, that man can't work here because that man worked for previous administration. Is it a crime? Is it a crime? And then we are beating the drum for national development. We're beating the drum for national unity, reconciliation. How do we reconcile the country? How do we? We are still at the level where we got deep-seated hate for one another. Don't want to develop. Somebody once said, oh, I don't want to call former President said, where he doesn't go. Because the way he was treated initially, there's a need for a meeting amongst the city leaders. It's good that former President Sirleaf is here. It's good that former President Weah is here. And who's supposed to lead that? That's the current president. He's supposed to lead that reconciliation. He's supposed to lead that unification. so that the three can sit together in a room and see and begin to chart the forward march of the country. Some of the doors today that the countries that we're running to and asking for aid, the former presidents could just call, make few calls, and aid could come. It's possible. Today, bulk of those in government, they see you because you work for previous government. They say you are an enemy. You are an enemy. How do we develop? No, I tell people Liberia will remain like this for the next 100 years. President will come, president will go. We're not reach even the toes of Ghana in terms of development. No, we're not reach the toes of Ghana. We'll always be running to Ghana. We'll always be running to Ghana because we are not ready yet. Our mindset has not been worked on. Our psyche has not been worked on. We still see each other as enemies. Today, you place a call to a man in government, he doesn't want to answer you. Some of the men in government, they don't want to answer you. They say, "Oh, that guy was." Hey, then you expect to succeed as a country? You expect to succeed as a government? You can't. You can't. Gentlemen, let's move on. Let's move on. Very shortly, we'll open the lines. But on what we've been talking about, Moses, let's get your analysis, your comments, before we can open the lines, and then we'll come to Desmond and Yusuf before we open the lines.
I agree with everything that all of our colleagues, the other panelists have said. We need to get it together. As a country, we should be willing to coexist. You cannot speak about nationalism. You cannot speak about patriotism. You cannot speak about unification when you hold grudges. When you say, "Oh, this other people belong to this other group, so I can't do business with it." They were part of that other administration. Liberia is a very small country. The country that I live in, this country is great because the people are willing to coexist. So, but whether you come from Africa or you come from Japan, when you go for a job interview here, they don't look at where you come from. What they are looking for is, can you do the job? If you can do the job, whether you're black, you're white, you're yellow, you're brown, they will give it to you. That's the kind of Liberia that we need. So our leaders must rather get to the table and work on this. To the Ministry of Information, they need to do better. If we're going to have a deputy minister that takes pleasure in demonizing people, bullying people because they are expressing themselves, then we are headed for a bigger problem. Liberia went to civil war because of this kind of stuff. People were demonized. People were put at loggerhead. And that's not the kind of Liberia that we need under this Walker administration.
Okay.
The government must take concrete actions to ensure that market forces will drive prices in the country. How do you do that? Make available goods. That there be availability of goods on the market. Other than that, you'll always see a hike because the higher the demand, the higher the prices. So I want to say thank you. It was a great show.
Okay, so before I go to my man Desmond, let's try to play this tape quickly. Let's listen to this tape, and then we can go to Desmond and Sherry for their comments before we open the lines. Yeah.
Specific question, Senator. Are the Unity Party people, are they ungrateful? I'm asking you the question.
Yes.
Are the Unity Party people, are they ungrateful?
They are, I just told you, they do not appreciate good. They believe that this government is only for them. So nobody should survive. Listen, I am not going to take off my clothes. I'm not going to bend low to anybody. I'm not going to sleep with anybody, be a man or woman, because I want control, I want joy. Hell no. I will not get involved into any funny attitude.
Are they ungrateful?
They are very ungrateful. I just told you. They won the election. We decided to go in the private sector to be able to build the capacity of Liberia. And we were denied because my name is Samuel Johnson. I have officially joined the CDC. I've gone to CMC. We came here. We did a pilot project for one of the government institutions here. Tili company is better with number one. And partnership with some Ghanaians. They denied them because Samuel Johnson he said that he's going to CMC. I said to her, you can take it.
Wow.
You can take that.
You mean the government you suffer for?
The government, yes.
The government you brought to power.
Yes.
The government you stood in the ring.
Yes.
The government you went to Bowling County.
Yes.
Deny your interest.
Yes.
Deny your interest.
Politics interest.
Wow.
Politics interest. There's no permanent friendship in politics. There's permanent interest.
Wow.
I supported you on the basis that you support me. There are people who work with me during the campaign.
Okay, this one.
Yeah, so I would just I would take a few points from the Sano. But you see, this is the same thing we are talking about. Just exactly what former lawmaker from Bowling County, Samuel Johnson, stating. It is also in consonance to what was said by the Director General of LBS, Fagon. It is also in buttress to what was also said by Amara Conan of Wapulu County. The issue about deception, the issue about what we call political deception, political ingratitude. Let me have it this way: political ingratitude, ranging from these front nanos, these front soldiers of the rescue administration doing the campaign, is so troubling and so. This is why I'm going to say for the record that I think the president needs to put his hands on decks to making sure that all of these people who contributed meaningfully to the campaign, that got the party or got the United Party to where it is currently, there's a need for internal reconciliation. You get the men. Amarakona was the least strategic, scientific asset of the entire rescue campaign team. Amarakona. Today, Amarakona has alleged the United Party of what we call political ingratitude. And definitely that speaks to the fact that there is no good relationship between the United Party people and that of Senator Amarakona. Now, Samuel Johnson is also confirming similar treatment. And you have the Director General of LBS who also spoke about similar treatment. So if the president is in the country, and if the president is aware about these things happening within his government under his watch, I think the president should step his feet down, and there's a need that the president should reach out to these people. And the president appointed, I think, Samuel Johnson as the liaison officer between the executive marshal and that of the House of Senate. Why is it? Is he not doing the job anymore? But I think we need to investigate and know why he's still on that job.
Okay.
But until that is done, I think what matters most is the president needs to reach out.
Okay. Mr. Sheriff, let's hear from you. Yusuf?
Once again, thank you again. So the only thing I see is that with the Unity Party is the battle for political influence for 2029. So much just what I can say to you, those people, they don't have clear priorities. Because if you got clear priorities, this country was deeply divided before the Weah administration can leave. Baka is the older man within, if I stand to be corrected, is the older President Baka is the older man within the government. I believe he should be the first person to serve an example. So all they do is talking here to say, oh, the Unity Party put this, the Unity Party put that. If Baka has set an example, automatically means officials of government will follow suit. But again, like I said to you, 2029, a rare year. Other people believing that when a guy, as I speak to you now, there are rumors in the political corridor that Gafan got interest to run, Jeremiah Pampun has interest to run. So they are clicked within the Unity Party. So they don't get clear priorities to say they want to reconcile the country or to bring people together or to bring people who are dissatisfied or disenchanted. What they are more concerned about is that the government is sweet. We got to maintain it for a very long period of time. So let's start building an alliance that will work together. So the people who on the other side, maybe when the election time will look at the mail, getting 10,000, then my people also about join. So we look at it, he will support us. So this is the clear agenda. They are not about reconciling the country, bringing technocrat and tactician on board. Even though like I said, who disagree with them, bring them on board. sometimes they will do more than people that you already get around a circle that believe that you owe them something. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Let's see what we can take a few calls quickly so that we can call it here quick. 0776 540-987. Again, that's the only line we are using. We are not using the studio line. We got this alternative line. 0776 540-987. Again, 0776 540-987. You call this number, you're going to be live on the program. Today's national unification. What are the indicators to you that this country is being unified under the current administration? Let's take the first call on the line. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
I'm Hassan Fawale, and I call Hassan Fawale, chairman of Lofa Alliance. I call from Cinco.
Mm-hmm.
I have a different view to what you are saying when it comes to unification.
Okay.
I think, in my opinion, you are limiting unification to political unification. And I think that's unfair to unification is not limited to only politicians in my context, and I think general context. You and I know pretty well these are politicians, they will not unite themselves into one food, they have political view that is different, and power set, they will not come to one understanding. All right, and when it comes to unification in a rural community, for example, where I live, I'm being talking, we got political differences, we got global differences, we got religious differences. We put it based on the community interest. And when the marketeer or leader want to buy market, you're not going to buy from education or the party, or not going to buy from education. No, she buy a good that is no the best, lower price and got quality. So, and I don't want to limit it to the level politician issue on top of speaker, want to go find other guys. Do not limit it to politicians. Secondly, let me briefly. Madam Saleh, I know pretty well that she has represented the president on some occasions. She represented the president. And she made it clear that the president and we don't see often, but we communicate sometimes we see. And you don't expect President Barker to always be the president always talk. I think they have a good relationship, but you know what I mean? Always. I'm not surprised. And lastly, Sandro Johnson, he bid for a contract. He didn't win the contract. I don't think it's political. He is not the only person that bid for contract. Many institutions bid for contract, but because he's a politician, he wants to politicize this bidding process is unfair. This is a reliable, reputable public institution or public entity. So if you pay for a contract, you don't get the contract. I mean, there are media things, but the thing that because you are not supporter of the ruling party, so you are being haunted for that. I think it's unfair. Generally, it's not a political unification.
Okay.
Not too much.
Many thanks. 0776 540-987. That's the number we are using tonight. 0776 540-987. What's your thoughts on things that we've been talking about? Let's hear you tonight on 0776 540-987. You call this number, you're going to be live on the program tonight, the Nighttime Heat. 0776 540-987. Let's hear you if you have either a question or maybe a comment, and or can discuss. This is our country, Liberia. We have to, talk it over and move on. Go out the days that we took, that we fought, took arms. No, this time around, we just talk and get things corrected and move on as a country, as a people. Today is national unification. What do you think? Is the country being unified under the administration of Joseph Imabwaka? Let's hear from you. Good evening. Yes, sir.
My name is Senator S. Susina, and I call from Front Street.
Okay.
Ratan.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Chief, I listened to all of your talking points. Thank you so kindly. I'm big disappointed in the president. That is, when the president was in the opposition, he spoke about the rule of law. But saying he took power, he approved almost all of our laws. Change your position, they remove people. And we are Liberian. Once the president is qualified, the president will work for that country. But the president is just going around, removing people from the offices. And our country is highly divided. When the government do wrong, you disagree with the government, they can't mean to get you. You are sedition, you're not Liberian, it is not worth it for our country. when the government does good, we will say what there is wrong, we will talk it. But they say nobody must disagree with the government. Hey, wrong. This will not make our country better.
Okay.
And lastly, the Deputy Information Minister for Public Affairs, Daniel Sano will insult almost everybody in this country. It is very wrong for our society. So when somebody in the opposition, they are not citizens no more for our country. And the government will not remain in power forever. One day they will have to leave power and another people will take over. So they will not have right to say anything. It is just bad for our country. Thank you so kindly for your talking point.
Many thanks as well. Let's try to take another call on the line quickly. This caller. Good evening. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Good evening to you and good evening to all of the panelists on the panel tonight. This is William Corbett, and actually this conversation from District 3 as a member of the Executive Party in view. So I'd like a question to ask as to the celebrations of the Unification Day today as to what are being unified. So I can safely tell you that Liberia is unified under the leadership of His Excellency President Joseph Boakai. For example, look, I hear people saying the government is coming down on people who, are critics of the government. That's not true. And this is where I want leader people to be making the clarity that it is not true that this government is going after people who come in or who are critical or quote-unquote critical forces against the government. On a daily basis, under this administration, we see registrations open 24 hours. At no point in time have we heard under this regime that a journalist has been jailed or prosecuted or a radio station has been closed down or the year ends for a radio station to go for their permit or renew their permit, the clause on the highway that it cannot be released. At no point in time have we heard it. Every day people post on their Facebook pages, criticize the government, insult President Boakai. At no point in time, any of that have been touched. So when it comes to political opponents, this government has tried to accommodate political opponents. For example, Kato Bakana was an active physician when you were appointed on the board of the Nigeria University, right? So, Kato Johnson today is a major critic of the government. Yet he still occupies his position as the executive resume to the Senate, right? Look, we were here, we know the attitude what Costa did to Boakai. Now, Boakai saying we have today, Costa would have never been around. The primitive or the better way of Liberia, but today Costa is doing his business peacefully in this country that nobody has in. So this is why I want people, if people think that this country will unify or will be united politically, no, they living in a dream world because there is no country in the world where democracy exists and you think everyone will come and agree politically.
Okay. Okay.
The way that will happen unless we change democratic state to what is monarchy form of government when nobody will be on a position as no other people.
Okay.
Nobody will be united politically.
Okay. All right. Many thanks. Many thanks. Many thanks. You made your points already. 0776 540 987. That's the number to call. Again, 0776 540 987. That's the number to call. And you are live on the nighttime heat. Are we being unified under this administration? Call us up and tell us. If so, what are the indicators? What are you seeing that speak to our unification under this administration? Let's hear from you. Let's take this caller quickly. Good evening.
Good evening, Several George and others.
Yes, sir.
This is Jay Afaki Makambi calling from Broadway.
Let's hear from you, sir.
With regard to unification, I think we are far from unification yet. Now, yeah, we are far from it. With regard to the issues on hand, referring to our unification, you know, this country has a program called Qualify with No Quality Product. In the economic sector, plenty of them, you qualify but no quality product. No quality product. You see, this is one of our key problems. People come with self-interest in government and come and impose those interests and become to just be masquerading around here, calling themselves minister, and they cannot do the work that required for the Liberian people to enjoy the fruit of their labor. And this is why they went to school for. So if you hear me say qualify with no quality product, this is the purpose. All right?
in this country, we need people with competency, specialization, that's supposed to be in government, and not people with self-interest. It's unfortunate on the part that if you let's go back to the issue on the court proceeding that just went on. I have serious problem with the justice minister in this matter. Okay? The reason is there is no rule of law in this country, first of all. There is no rule of protection of our country is vulnerable. Now, you know, something we are discussing. So I'm calling on the president now to tell the president, to tell the justice minister to either surrender his resignation or be dismissed immediately. Now, because we need rule of law, look at our economy. There is no protection within the economic sector. Everybody just doing their own thing in this country. They are going to say there is no rule of law in Liberia. We need to impose, we need to bring into practice rule of law. This is how other countries carry on their activities, and today they are succeeding. Thank you. I don't want to take much of your time.
Okay, many thanks. 0776 540 987. That's the number to call, and you are live. Let's just sort of call on the line quickly. Good evening.
Yeah, so.
Yes, sir. I'm okay.
Okay, this is Battlefield F. Tucker, calling you from downtown.
Okay.
Okay, we're talking about unification. The fact of unification is everybody coming together for a common good. But this animal farm government, what we put in the power, we have to pray to take them from there. Because even the clergymen, the men of God, they see the sheep going astray. They don't talk because of brown envelope. Nobody doing the right thing, and everybody doing things that will satisfy themselves. Until we can change, I'm afraid that the country is going in the dungeon. Thank you.
Okay. 0776 540 987. That's the number to call. That's the number to call, rather. And you are live. Let's get another call on the line quickly. Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
How you doing, Papa?
I'm okay.
Okay. This is Mom City calling from Private Farm.
Okay, mama. Let's hear from you quickly.
Okay, this is my first time on your show.
Mhm.
I admire the show tonight. I'm listening to all of you. You said it all. I will tell you, my brother, this country is divided. This country is very divided, my brother. Like you all said, it's divided. But we are so wicked, so shit as the United people. We're so wicked. But President, we are won the election. You want to President Boka to go for the president of Latin. When he won the election, when the President Boka of the old man, the election. I be in the election, let's come together and work together. I'm going to follow. I need advice. He refused. What he wanted, we are for him. And we have to tell him. Senator up to this time. It's been 3 years now. Last year, they done. But when you say it, for forget understand. Now in the community, so Jerry, all your brother, we have a program, if you have a question, you will not even post it. When you post your brother, when they find out they post your brother, it's for the other side, like 3 sisters, to go out. You know, go after you and the 24 job because when you're posting the party, and you're over for 1 month, but they will not look at that one, but they deport a day for CDC to go after that party. So now, and I said in the first you will still see your own brother dying. You run over him to rescue him. All of us, but we are going to be together. We are going to be enjoying ourselves. You will post your food, post your fight. But today, all of us are happy. There's no unity. They're good for nothing. There is no unity, my brother. When you go out there, let us go together and the people come together and say, no, you are the person of the day. Now, call the man. That's why you will not answer you. Say it's for the violence. The country is divided. There is no peace. What I say is not because we are president one day in this country. All you say is just we are. The little boy tomorrow day, they want to call you president Waka. But we say that you can head then will come up and say, oh, what is it? Not right. The rule of law is broken on Waka. They will not understand that one. What you say to them, you are the leader. Take the lead as a father and the honor that you have for the 2 year experience. But they will not do it. They give me Baba and Facet and go with it and see what's happening. You hear from all the
for national reconciliation and unification. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you. Your name.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be in your program tonight.
Mm-hmm.
This is our chairman of the plan support for a moment. I'm calling for Rotuta.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't consider the call. I want to play the scene today. I consider the call. To unify. There's too much in this country. Are you kidding me? But in this country, they see one of the permanent business institutions I have in the country, possible lose themselves. We see a political party held by the chairman, endorsed by the standard by the current the president, then moving to that business area, breaking all the sinker, charging all the thousands of people to business because they put an opposition. We are seeing all the administration. No. We are seeing another thing. The only thing you do another generation to insult every day of 30%. Every day they open up and insult. We are seeing opposition business. We are seeing people are president come and declare a check play. When the caller said, some of those in my sins are bombing. He up the every day. They are not able to go and bombing can't. They say, "Bomika pay them dead." He's still working, getting money. All opposition, we never see any part. We saw radio station closed down because we have on you. We saw the president wrecking the former president to go to the US to the US summit for Liberia. They turn it down. They said, "We'll not step there." We saw the president give the president invitation, tell him go solar. He never stepped there. We saw large unification. Call the current president, call the former president. He never pick up. He did not answer the call. We see the jail go cut him in front of not infiltration. All the political leaders, he never stepped there. Amen. Some of us will pour up a beat. So somebody just because they get late, will make it a bit down. If open up, take the puppy. And I'm talking about the flag around there. Into go somebody talking it. Amen. To that unification, in also get the president do everything to reconcile with the former president. The former president refuse. What do we do? So because the government and the country will not go forward again? No. I just want to come and say they will be putting that things off. Who is the opposition yet? That going around the country and one day I've been wanted. Who's the opposition? Who's the resistance yet? I bet you know the resistance I'm talking about. Now you had a profession about the people your profession. But you know what I'm talking about. The people are lucky. That was for something. Whether they just none of the law please. When Lally and nobody am working there, and of course I get money, letting Babu do the money work that condemn this up today. And man, at this one, nobody am working you. What call unification will not tell you because our leaders trying to devour us.
Okay.
Our leaders trying to devour us.
Okay, we got all people on the line quickly.
Thank you very much.
Okay, many thanks. Let's do this color. Good evening. I like the debate, you know. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me just make one or two statements referring to what I've just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
People are saying that President Barker should invite former President we invited him to the United Nations program. He didn't respect the invitation. So I think we are still appealing to him. He's a small boy to the old man. He's supposed to go and meet the old man. So when it comes to reconciliation, we expect him to meet the old man.
Okay.
That's tradition.
Okay.
Besides that, when it comes to job creation, there are a lot of jobs in Monrovia. Look at the hospitals not being there. Hospitals are denominated. It's the civil ordinance is being passed into law. It's being enforced. Librarians of the Papa Monrovia citizens will get jobs. Look at how the condition of our country looking. Just that law, just everybody will pay their bidding. Not pay your bidding. You will pay 25% of the cost of the bidding. And see how Monrovia people will not get job in Monrovia. And look, jobs available, but it is because of rule of law. Thank you.
Many thanks. 0776 540 987. Liberians are speaking out. 0776 540 987. That's the number to call. You call this number, you're going to be live on the Nighttime Heat. Today is National Unification Day. Are we being unified under this administration? If so, what are the indicators? What are you seeing? What speaks to national unification amongst the people? Let's hear you. Your name? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm okay, Chief.
Thank you so much for the program on your radio. You know, we as a friend, we don't want for things to be found in our favor. You know, President Parker, he is a man that what he's doing, I mean, people admire him. Because he's not doing it one side, he's doing it both ways. He's living the twins mother. You know, somebody who went in power and I like to say they ain't know the level right. You know, they probably are already hospital, so they ain't know what they are doing. So let us forget about that and move Liberal power and see what Pape will do. Look, Pape got more things to do with the country. It just happened that, you know, the age of Matusla have nothing to do with wisdom. So let us look forward to see what Pape will do. Thank you so much.
Many thanks. 0776 540 987. That's the number to call. And you are live on the Nighttime Heat. You've been in the country, you've been out of the country, been listening to what's happening, what you're reading, what you're hearing. Does it speak to the fact that under this administration we are being unified? Today is National Unification Day. Or is it just on a book? And in truism, it doesn't exist. You don't see national unification amongst the people. Let's hear from you. 0776 540 987. That's the number to call. And you are live tonight on the Nighttime Heat. 0776 540 987. Let's hear from you relative to national unification. Now, Moses, are you there? Okay. Desmond.
Yeah. So, I mean,
you've been listening to the callers.
I must appreciate them for their multi-dimensional views on the question asked as to whether Liberia is better in terms of unity or we are somehow divided. But let me speak to the fact that, it appears to be so delusional if somebody would think that there is nowhere possible in the world that a country can be politically united. The first thing is we must understand being in opposition, that doesn't mean you are an enemy. We are all citizens before being politicians. You can be a politician, at the same time be a patriotic politician. So the thing about unity is about who is now in charge. We know that the president, the government may have tried to unify the country. We watch the reburial exercise of former leaders, former national leaders, those who said the presidency. But that I don't think that is sufficient, right? Because if we push it for national unity, that we got to push beyond the horizon. We have seen several countries, like we go to Ghana, the former president or Nana Atuk or Nana Akufo-Addo, he have always in conversation with the current president, John Mahama. So this is what we need in Liberia. If you go to Nigeria, we have seen Tinubu. Tinubu have invited several occasions former President Jonathan Goodluck. We have seen that. So if these things are happening in our sub-region, what more different about Liberia? Is it wrong for the certain president to even take upon himself to say, look, I will keep trying to make sure that I got to unite this country? Because why? I share the greater responsibility in uniting the country. I agree. Unity is about reconciliation, is about two parties' willingness to come together. But that responsibility, it is greatly shared by you who are in power. You hold greater responsibility to make it so that those of whom are your critics are brought on board. Okay. So that is why the government needs to do more beyond just what we see on the surface of reconciliation. I think the government needs to be more robust. The government needs to be more vibrant, more effective, and intentional about unifying the country, making sure that you're bringing everybody across the political divide. And that is what I think I can say, and that's what matters for our national growth as a country.
Okay. Yusuf.
So, let one of the quarter I want to respond to. When we talk about unifying the country, it is not possible that all will come together under one umbrella. But even if we disagree, we must not consider one another as enemy. Today, there are people who are actors of the politics of our country, some of whom we know in person that Big Brother Super Joe have said, you place call to them, they don't want to pick up. I don't know reason best known to themselves, even though they have an opportunity, even when you make a request to say yes or no. But today, they are ostracized, other people believing that they can be their friend because they don't share the same political ideology. And I want to say thank you to all of the quarter. This is very, very healthy for our democracy, that we should come out on a platform where people will give their opinion and view. And I hope that people in government will listen to some of those views and then do the necessary thing in the farm of our country. Thank you.
Okay, so let me state my parting comment as well. We have to move on as a country. Again, gone are the days that we took weapons against each other. We'll talk. We'll point out the ills. We'll point out, the excesses, so that we all can find a solution to our problem as a country, as a people, to move on. But again, this issue of political exclusion, let's try by all means, as a government, as a people, let's try by all means to make it a matter of history. We can be excluding each other. This country belongs to all of us. If the Unity Party government is in office today, let the Unity Party government, open arms to everybody. We listened to Eugene Fagon, and he said it right. He said, well, in this government, so long you are not a Unity Party partisan, you are out, or you are not even given the support. And he's an insider. We listen to Sandra Joyce, he also played it. They shouldn't be our problem as a people. We shouldn't be doing this at all. Tomorrow, if the ANC came, so should the ANC deny all those who are part of the Unity Party? Or maybe if the CMC came, should the CMC deny everybody? Or if the CDC reemerges, should the CDC deny everybody who's part of the Unity Party? No. That's not what we're supposed to do. As a people, as a country, we must be able to unite. We must be able to see each other as compatriots, part of a boat to move the country forward. But if we sing that, because John Brown once worked in an administration, and so he shouldn't be, it's bad. Like I mentioned earlier, I made reference to former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. The Isaac Jackson, then they were all critical, very critical. They were strong critics of the government. But Louis Brown, in fact, he used to, talk about the desecration of the executive mansion. Milton Tiaji said he was launching measles attacks against Ellen because he wanted proximity, he wanted to be close. So after Ellen brought him on board, he went quiet. That should be a strategy of our leaders. You see someone who's critical, don't take them to be enemy. That person, if I was critical, tomorrow when you recruited them, they could be more loyal than those who are, in fact, who claim that they were loyal to you. So when we move our country, when we have that style of leadership, when we adopt that style of leadership, nobody will be crying foul. It's when we're going to see our country being better, being improved, because our arms are open. Our hearts are open to one another. But hey, it will have cost nothing to the president at all if he had just driven to former President Sirleaf and maybe told us, look, call your son George Weah. Let's sit them together as former leaders. That would have been a breaking news. And everybody, in fact, would have spoken about that. That would have given the president, the current president, that political capital, that political addition, that political admiration. People would have spoken about him well. You know, when the leaders start the process of unification, of reconciliation, it trickles down to the ordinary people, the market women, the Yana boys, the Shushan boys. They start being united. And then you see the growth of the country. A nation divided against itself, that nation cannot stand. And that's the reason why we find things happening. We find challenges. We find that our development program is just at a slow pace because we cannot united. We still see each other as enemies. Today, you call some individuals in government, they don't want to answer you. Is that a country we want to develop? I heard about a minister who, in fact, when he drove out of his fence, he saw two disabled, and they went to beg for alms. And he descended on those people. Amen. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. We pray that God will bless this country because we are slipping off. We are slipping off. We are slipping off. Well, Desmond, thank you very much. Moses Sandy and Yusuf, thank you for coming. I know Dave not feeling well. You'll be in tomorrow. I'm praying that he gets well. George Kennedy as well. George will be in, and Famula will be in next week. Famula has been preparing for his law exam. You know, the man is supposed to be a full-time lawyer, so he's studying very hard. Until then, Sabo George is my name. Have a restful night.